New York City's architectural narrative begins in the 17th century with the Dutch. The story of this iconic city is deeply rooted in its early days as a Dutch settlement. The Dutch, known for their innovative and practical approach to building, laid the foundation for what would become one of the most architecturally diverse cities in the world. They established New Amsterdam, a settlement at the southern tip of Manhattan Island. This area, now bustling with skyscrapers and modern infrastructure, was once a modest outpost of the Dutch West India Company. The strategic location of New Amsterdam was chosen for its advantageous position for trade and defense. Early structures were simple and practical, reflecting the Dutch architectural style of the time. These buildings were designed to meet the needs of the settlers, providing shelter and storage in a new and challenging environment. The use of local materials and straightforward construction techniques were hallmarks of this early architecture. Houses were often built of wood and brick, with distinctive stepped gables facing the street. These gables were not just decorative, they were a practical solution to the challenges posed by the narrow plots of land available in the settlement. The step design allowed for more efficient use of space and added structural stability. These gables, a common feature in Dutch architecture, served a functional purpose. They provided a way to easily lift goods to the upper floors of buildings, which was essential in a time when ground space was limited and vertical storage was necessary. The design also helped to shed rainwater more effectively, protecting the buildings from the elements. The stepped design provided stability and allowed for easier lifting of goods to upper floors. This was particularly important in a bustling trade hub like New Amsterdam, where merchants needed to store and access their goods efficiently. The use of pulleys and other lifting mechanisms was a common sight in the settlement, showcasing the ingenuity of Dutch engineering. The Dutch influence remained visible even after the English took control in 1664, renaming the city New York. The transition from Dutch to English rule brought changes, but the architectural legacy of the Dutch settlers continued to shape the city's development. Many of the original Dutch buildings were adapted and expanded upon by the new English inhabitants. However, English architectural styles began to emerge, gradually transforming the cityscape. The English brought their own building traditions and preferences, which included more ornate and decorative elements compared to the simpler Dutch designs. This blend of styles created a unique architectural tapestry that reflected the city's diverse cultural influences. Despite the passage of time and the city's constant evolution, remnants of New Amsterdam's architectural heritage can still be found. These historic buildings serve as a tangible link to the past, offering a glimpse into the lives of the early settlers and the challenges they faced. Preservation efforts have ensured that these structures remain a part of New York City's rich architectural history. These traces offer a glimpse into the city's humble beginnings and the enduring legacy of its early settlers. The architectural journey from New Amsterdam to modern-day New York is a testament to the city's resilience and adaptability. Each building, old and new, tells a story of innovation, cultural exchange, and the relentless pursuit of progress that defines New York City. As New York City prospered in the 18th century, its architecture reflected the growing sophistication of its residents. The Georgian style, popular throughout the English colonies, became the dominant architectural language. Characterized by symmetry, balance, and classical proportions, Georgian buildings conveyed a sense of order and refinement. They were typically constructed of brick, often with decorative elements in brownstone or wood. Homes of wealthy merchants and government officials featured grand entrances, elaborate moldings, and spacious interiors. Public buildings, such as churches and courthouses, adopted similarly imposing designs, reflecting the city's growing importance. The Georgian style represented a departure from the earlier, more utilitarian structures of New Amsterdam. It marked the emergence of New York City as a center of wealth and culture, its architecture mirroring the aspirations of its increasingly influential citizens. The 19th century witnessed a period of rapid growth and transformation in New York City. This era marked the beginning of New York's journey to becoming one of the most iconic cities in the world. The skyline, which we now recognize instantly, began to take shape during this transformative period. The city's population exploded, fueled by immigration and industrialization. Waves of immigrants arrived from Europe, Asia, and other parts of the world, each bringing their unique cultures, traditions, and aspirations. These new residents sought opportunities and a better life, contributing to the city's diverse and vibrant character. This surge in residents led to the development of new neighborhoods and housing styles. As the city expanded, so did the need for housing, leading to the construction of various types of residences. From tenements to more affluent row houses, the architectural landscape of New York began to diversify. One of the most enduring architectural legacies of this era is the brownstone. These iconic row houses, often seen lining the streets of neighborhoods like Brooklyn and Harlem, became a symbol of New York City living. Their unique aesthetic and historical significance have made them a cherished part of the city's architectural heritage. These row houses, constructed from a distinctive reddish-brown sandstone, became synonymous with New York City living. The material, known for its durability and warm hue, was sourced from quarries in the northeastern United States, adding a local touch to the city's architecture. Their facades, often adorned with intricate carvings and decorative ironwork, showcase the craftsmanship of the time. Each brownstone tells a story through its detailed ornamentation, reflecting the artistic trends and cultural influences of the 19th century. Simultaneously, the Gothic Revival style gained prominence, particularly in public and institutional buildings. This architectural movement, inspired by medieval European designs, brought a sense of grandeur and history to the city's landscape. Inspired by medieval European architecture, this style emphasized pointed arches, vaulted ceilings, and ornate details. The Gothic Revival style aimed to evoke the spiritual and historical essence of the past, creating buildings that were not only functional but also visually striking. Trinity Church, with its soaring spire and stained glass windows, exemplifies the grandeur of Gothic Revival architecture. Located in the heart of Manhattan, this church stands as a testament to the city's architectural evolution and its ability to blend the old with the new. These buildings, with their sense of history and permanence, provided a counterpoint to the rapidly changing urban landscape. As New York City continued to grow and modernize, these architectural gems served as reminders of the city's rich past and the diverse influences that shaped its identity. The juxtaposition of historical structures against the backdrop of a modern skyline creates a unique and dynamic urban environment where the past and present coexist harmoniously. The late 19th century marked a turning point in New York City's architectural history with the advent of the skyscraper. This era was characterized by rapid urbanization and industrial growth, which necessitated new architectural solutions to accommodate the burgeoning population and economic activities. Technological advancements, including the development of the elevator and steel frame construction, made it possible to build taller than ever before. The elevator, invented by Elisha Otis in the 1850s, revolutionized vertical transportation, making upper floors accessible and practical for both residential and commercial use. Meanwhile, steel frame construction provided the necessary structural support to build higher without the limitations of traditional masonry. The first skyscrapers, often referred to as proto-skyscrapers, emerged in Chicago. The home insurance building, completed in 1885, is often cited as the world's first skyscraper due to its innovative use of a steel frame. Chicago's flat terrain and the Great Fire of 1871, which cleared large areas of the city, provided a unique opportunity for architects to experiment with new building techniques. However, New York City quickly embraced this new architectural form, its limited land area and booming economy fueling the drive to build upwards. The city's dense population and high real estate prices made vertical expansion a logical solution. As a result, New York became a laboratory for skyscraper design, with architects and engineers pushing the boundaries of what was possible. The construction of the World Building in 1890, reaching a height of 348 feet, ushered in the era of skyscrapers in New York City. Designed by George B. Post, the World Building was the tallest office building in the world at the time, symbolizing New York's growing influence and ambition. It held the title of the world's tallest building for a brief period, soon to be surpassed by even taller structures. This race to the sky was driven by both technological advancements and the desire to create iconic landmarks that would define the city's skyline. These early skyscrapers, with their steel skeletons and masonry facades, represented a bold departure from traditional building methods. The use of steel allowed for greater height and more flexible interior layouts, while the masonry facades provided a sense of permanence and stability. This combination of materials and techniques set the stage for the modern skyscraper. They became symbols of technological progress, economic might, and the city's soaring ambitions. Skyscrapers not only transformed the physical landscape of New York City, but also its cultural and economic identity. They represented the city's resilience, innovation, and relentless pursuit of growth, setting a precedent for urban development around the world.